Hey everybody, this is the Pirate King, and today we are off to see the Queen as we explore Divinity's Reach and talk about game immersion and atmosphere. So break out your tourist gear and prepare not to ask for directions, because you're listening to another Gamer's Rant.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a brave hero. I'll be here all week. Let's see the color of your clothes.
So during the beta, I played a thief exclusively and got him to level 16. He will be our tour guide here in the city, and as you can see already, Divinity's Reach is looking amazing. I'm running on the highest settings right now on an unoptimized client, so in order for you guys to get the full effect, crank up your video to HD and enjoy the sights and sounds.
Be that much of a hassle, can it? Let me put it this way. You know how they say the Emperor threw all the non-humans out of camp, but broken tired of haggling with them.
Atmosphere and immersion is something I think ArenaNet does really well. Never have I seen in an MMO the level of details these guys put into their environments.
How can I help
Now what
you?
exactly do I mean? Well, let's take a few current MMOs for example, like Rift, Star Wars, and Terra. Now before you guys jump down my throats, let me reassure you that this is going to be an analytical point of view just on environments. Every game has its merits, but this will just be attacking environments. I kinda gave it away by saying attacking, didn't I? Now let's start with our more recent contender, Terra. In Terra, the animations are gorgeous. I'm not going to take that away. The sceneries are breathtaking, and there's an emphasis on boob physics like I've never seen before. But after that, it just falls short. The landscapes are littered with static NPCs walking back and forth ready to die. The maps are narrow and linear in terms of exploration. There's invisible walls, no day and night cycles, no weather effects. It all draws away from the wow, this world is alive, to the realization that this shit sucks. Now I know what you're gonna say. It's all a dream, dude. It's all the giant's dreams. That's why the sun looks this way. That's why there's no weather effects. That's, to me, just a cop-out. I mean, seriously. So, apparently the people of Terra don't sleep, and they must buy, or maybe they don't even need sleep at all. They're just action-packed all the time. Overall, it just gives you that feeling that everything's linear and short, and there's no expanding sideways. You just follow the path, and complete your quest, commit complete genocide to everything you see, and continue on. Next up, we have Rift. Here the world feels dark and gloomy and definitely shows through with its landscapes and style, excluding Ember Island, which kind of went with a more Dead Island tropical approach. But again, like Terra, we have the static cities and NPCs. Even so, Rift being an overall smaller world than Terra, it's more explorable, with puzzles, underwater landscapes, and weather effects. And the biggest thing of all, well, rifts. They create that dynamic event, or the dynamic conflict with invasions that make the world feel more alive and in constant turmoil, making players put an actual emotional feeling into saving their world or their zone at the time from an invasion. Unfortunately, that becomes more of a trivial nuisance than an actual threat because of whining and moaning from casuals, but that's a different story and that's a different rant. And now for the worst perpetrator of all, we have Star Wars. SWTOR, oh SWTOR. Star Wars, the Old Republic's worlds were as sterile and linear as you can get. And I don't fault the developers entirely. BioWare did what it does best and deliver a great single-player campaign. Unfortunately, they wanted $15 a month for that, and it just wasn't happening. They blatantly used cut-and-paste environments and NPCs. I remember going in some place to save someone from these aliens, which everyone is an alien pretty much. And once I opened the doors, it's the same character cut and paste about 20 times running past me. Seriously, Not even change their freaking uniform colors or hair colors. I saved a bunch of clones. And for me, a person that loves game aesthetics, that was just, it was painful, mind-boggling painful for them to do such a blatant, lazy act. So why am I telling you all this? Well, to appreciate the game now, you have to realize how things were being done. Environments and worlds were taking the backseat in new MMOs, and the emphasis on one shiny new feature is all they talked about. Whether it was the best combat or best story, developers were just reproducing the same game with a twist that eventually wore off 20 levels in. And you realize that this is the same thing you've been playing forever. This game does try to be revolutionary, because it's not just one gimmick feature it has. It has taken everything that's in MMO, cut out the fat, and made this lean game which pleases to a wide audience because it has its single player aspect, it has its group player aspect. Now, they say they don't have a raid, but the explorable modes and dungeons is kind of a raid, except you don't have large 50-man people in it. But overall, it's the same thing. You're going to get a group of people, you're going to work really hard at it, and you're going to do it a lot of times to get something. Which, in it all, is a raid, minus the 50 other people you have to compete against. All in all, I feel like Anet knows what they're doing. They know what players like, they know what players don't like, they know what works for them, and they know what doesn't work in other MMOs. And they've taken all that and made a great game. And it boggles my mind that other developers haven't thought of this before. It's like people haven't realized that players don't like fighting over resource nodes, or getting ganked, or camping a spawn point. It's just tedious work. And I think that's mostly fault of arrogance. Developers get arrogant about their game and don't want to listen to other people that they're doing things wrong. Elder Scrolls Online. But that's going to be a different story and a different rant somewhere else.
At least you have a job. You could be starving.
Or I could be on the front lines. I get it. But I'm not going to work tomorrow until I'm good
and on that point, I implore, I plead for the Guild Wars 2 or Anet or its developers to continue on with this kind of level of detail in what they do. And besides just making it detailed this one time, continue it. Continue keeping this world alive. For instance, while I'm running around here, I saw a building that was being built. One day I want to see that structure built completely. I mean, over the term of patching other stuff or making a game update, throw in a city patch, throw in a life patch, throw in, new NPCs, new events happening inside your city to keep it alive and progressing. Make a fire happen or something. Keep regular city life and stuff like that moving forward so it doesn't stay or start feeling static after a few months into the game and you're like, these people are still, building this freaking structure here for the past 8 months. Because it'd be a shame to have such a big and beautiful city, but nothing ever changing inside, so it would eventually turn static. You know what's happening, you know where the mini games are, everything's just the same all the time. And in this game, I think the emphasis on changing is so large that you can't just ignore that. But that's just my opinion. I also have an opinion about having housing in-game, which I think it should be allowed, at least in your home instance. Maybe you buy, different housing structures or rooms, depending on how much karma you have. I mean, I go save a damn city, you better be grateful enough to come to my house and build me a garage. But that's just my 2 cents. Well, I think I have ranted enough for today. Like always, like and subscribe if you dig what you see, and I'll keep posting up some stuff. I think this might be my last Guild Wars 2 related item, unless people ask for it specifically. I am now going to just move on to some other games. I'm going to go hate on Elder Scrolls Online, and I think I'm going to do little segments about playing other MMOs, in the sense of playing free-to-play MMOs, which are horrible, but should prove interesting. As always, I am the Pirate King, and I will catch you guys on the battlefield.
The char family will cook it up. Me, tell them otherwise.
Our last contact with him was over 100 years ago, but we still revere our ancestors.
You're not the boss of me, Horseface. We were here first.
No, you weren't. I'm gonna knock your butt in the mud.
Oh, no, you won't. Gwen, Jorah, prepare to deploy cooties.
Get away! Don't touch me!
Roar! I'm a char and I'm going to
complaint from
eat
me.
you.
Some say she's ineffective against the centaurs, and that bandits lurk around every corner. They say that Caudica should take the throne.
The minister talks a good game, but I don't trust him.
Fighting bandits is hard work. Enjoying your ration, soldier? Good man. Well, it's just a wagon is looking for part-time balance.
I carry only the highest quality.
Excuse me, Minister?
Yes.
You have visitors.
Escort them to the ministry. Be sure their needs are met. They've had a long journey. Tell them I'll join them later.
Yes, ma'am.
Tonight, I'm going to sneak in and see the queen.
Sorry to break in like this, but this corridor right here, this is the corridor I always imagined Undercity's corridor to look like. The one where Arthas is walking in and all the petals of flowers are falling around him. That same exact one, after he finds Frostmourne. And this reminds me of that scene perfectly.